I don't think I've played anyone with under such pressure, actually, with the weight of the world and the moon on his shoulders, you know.
I'm never nervous, actually, but I was a bit nervous because, you know, you're starting a big show with a big streamer and there's quite a lot of scrutiny.
It's pretty devastating. It's pretty heartbreaking. There's some incredible performances. It's like big scale, that last episode.
Was there anything you were nervous about going in? Do you still get nervous at this stage in your career about?
Well, this stuff, well, the junket stuff, this stuff scares the hell out of me every time, yeah. No, it's fun. But is that what you meant, or just the job?
The show in general, I think.
You always think, how the hell have I got this job? You know, there's a part of you that always is telling you that, you know, which is why I guess you work so hard to basically silence that little voice, which we all have, you know, but it's that voice that makes you vulnerable in a sense, and it's your vulnerability that allows you to access the stuff that's hopefully watchable ultimately at the end of the day, you know.
Well, I can't be the first to tell you you're incredibly damn good at it. Just finally from me, for everyone who's not seen the show yet, could you describe it for them in 3 words?
I'm trying to, a thrilling, thriller, science fiction. There you go, that's so easy.
What about your favourite scene from Lyudmilla? I mean, she's so, as we spoke about earlier, she's so kind of cold in the beginning, gets a bit of humanity. Can you tease anything about a particular scene that you're particularly proud of?
I'm proud of the whole show. I love playing Lyudmilla. I tell you what, I loved all my scenes with Aggie, but there's a little scene where I meet my boss, and it's really nice to see her not be the boss. He was played by an actor called Will Keane, who I worked with at the National, 20,000 Dinosaur years ago, and that was really nice to be back together. Yeah, but I mean, I loved all the scenes. Yeah.
While I've got you, if it's not too cheeky, our audience is huge fans of Ludwig. Can you tease anything about season 2?
Season 2 is cracking. It's really, really good. I can't tell you anything because my mind's gone blank and I'll probably be killed and I don't know what I'm allowed to tell you. But what I can say, it's really, really good. I think it's even better than season 1. I think we sort of built on what we had and we've made it even better.
In 3 words, why should the lovely Radio Times audience tune in to Star City?
3 words?
Yeah, I'm not giving you much to work with.
You 3 words, aren't you? Why should they watch it?
Yeah. Or describe the show in 3 words,
It's
maybe.
really good.
We spoke a bit about your dynamic with Anna and those 2 characters. Is there a particular scene that you're proud of that you 2 worked on together, or any particular conversations about your characters that you found particularly memorable?
Me and Anna. I feel like the first scene, because when I found out that Lyudmilla would be played by Anna, I was on the plane, getting in. I think actually when I arrived in Lithuania, my phone pinged. It was it's Anna Maxwell Martin. And I have idolized Anna for years, so I think I had a little cry. And then I met her and she's obviously hilarious and so kind, and then so I think the first day where I was she's just very generous and fun. And I think I really needed that because I was dealing with being a bit starstruck. But she immediately put me at ease. And then also what comes to mind is the German interrogation scene, because I walked around Vilnius listening to German for weeks and weeks and weeks, being got to get this perfect. I've never acted in another language before. And again, that was probably the only day where me and Anna weren't having a laugh. I was in the corner in this jail, which was an original jail, just sort of rocking, being stay in it, it's just 2 days, So I feel that's probably what comes to mind the most.
Could you tease the show for me in 3 words? Just describe whatever 3 words come to mind for you about the show.
Well, I mean, it's thrilling. warm and like full of heart. Because I think it doesn't seem warm when you look at the trailer and the posters, but like it's full of like incredible performances that are full of life.
So obviously playing the first woman on the moon. How much research into kind of real life cosmonauts did you do? Did you look at any kind of one in particular?
Well, actually, Matt and Ben put me in contact with Garrett Reisman, who is an astronaut, and he told me a great deal and was very, very generous. It was very, very exciting for me. And honestly, like, the moment that someone starts recommending Earth to you as though it's like a hip new, like it's Taipei or like it's, you know, the Greek islands or something, that's when you know that like they're a freaking astronaut. He was like, you know, Earth's got stuff going for it, like, you know, food, hiking, all kinds of stuff. It was really beautiful. I mean, apart from that, there is actually more to say, but I don't want to like load you up too hard. But I will say Yuri Gagarin and Valentina Tereshkova were, of course, like huge inspirations. They're also actual characters within the lore of the story, which is what I kind of love about the show as well, is that it is a fiction, it is an alternate history, but it is deeply inspired and like really authentic where it can be. I think what really got me the most was the way that whoever Gagarin was, and forgive my butchering of the names, I am an Australian and I speak in funny ways, but whoever he really truly was has kind of been eclipsed by the legend of who he was and then the scandal of who he was. And I thought that was fascinating to kind of enter into that space where you don't belong to yourself anymore.
For our lovely Radio Times viewers at home, could you describe the show for them in 3 words?
Yeah, I could do that. I think I could. Let me give it a go. I think it's gripping. I think it's tender. Surprising.
What can you tease about Sasha and his kind of journey in the show?
In terms of teasing Sasha and his journey, I think the potential dislike that people might have towards him in the beginning is very much just the beginning. And there's a lot more to come from Sasha, and a lot of growth, a lot of heart, I'd say. Yeah.
He might have to go through a few things to get there.
He definitely goes through a lot. Oh, yeah. You know.
What was the biggest challenge for you? Was there anything you were nervous about coming into the show?
I was nervous about all of it, everything. But,
Every single day.
Every single day I was nervous. Challenge, I mean, the wire work for the zero gravity situation was tough. More physically than mentally, I guess. I guess you could say mentally when you're hanging upside down and the blood's in your head. It's kind of a physical and mental challenge. But we all got very fit. Everyone had abs by the end after doing the wire work and the zero, which is amazing, you know. Free abs, why not? But it was still loads of fun, and I'm quite proud of my pretend zero gravity movements.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, we'll see how they look. I don't know.
It looks brilliant.
Okay, good. You can't tell. It looks like we're really up there.
When you said wire work, I was like, what wire work? You were just surely
We were surely in space, yeah.
And just a couple of final ones. Can you describe the show for me, for our Radio Times audience, in 3 words?
3 words. I say Star City is brutal, human, and thrilling.
Something I didn't get to ask you earlier.
Okay.
Without
Before I broke down in tears.
just before I made you cry.
Exactly. So good to see you again. No, sorry.
Are there any particular scenes that you can tease without spoiling too much that you're particularly proud of in the show?
Yeah, I mean, not for my own sake. I'm not proud for my own sake, but I'm proud for everybody else. You know, in terms of for all of us, especially everything involving myself and Ruby. I think, especially the reveal in episode 4 and 5. I have seen bits of those. And I was really happy with the way that they turned out and how, because you really don't know how that's going to work until an edit tells that story for you. That was beautifully edited, I think. And Yeah, I haven't seen a great deal of the end of it, actually. But I have seen the very final scene, and I can't tell you about that. But I can tell you that I had to imagine a particular thing, and it worked out. It worked out that the thing that I imagined was they produced it, and that was quite lovely. Yeah, go ahead. No, I do not. There you go.
Thank you.
I'm glad you couldn't hear any of that because it was nonsense.
It absolutely wasn't. Could you tell me about the biggest challenge? Was there anything you were particularly nervous about going in?
Yeah, I was nervous about looking competent on a spacecraft. That was difficult. Also, maintaining a secret and not letting it colour the whole character and the whole performance of things. And also not, again, you have to trust the director. You have to trust the edit and trust the writing, that you're not giving anything away. You're also not holding so much back that it becomes unbelievable when the audience discover what they discover. So I found that but really the writing, those guys know what they're doing, Matt and Ben, and the cast are, I don't know what word you would even use. They're just warm and kind and beautiful people. So when I get to meet them again, I smile, and I think, okay, this is one of those things where you trust people. And ironically, in my sense for this character is, but yeah, it was wonderful. So there was the challenge was to match the quality of their work, I think.
Yeah. And just finally, can you describe the show for our viewers in just 3 words?
Oh, that's very hard. I probably can't in 3 words, but I can describe it a little bit. It's not what you expect. It's not what you expect, and and yeah, I think they'd have to watch it twice. That's what I think.
We touched a little bit earlier on kind of the younger version of Sergey. Can you tease a bit about, obviously fans will have seen the older version in For All Mankind. What's different about him this time round when we meet him?
I think in this telling of him, or that we're going from the younger side of him, I think he's got a completely different energy, and he is about to experience all the things that are moulding him into the version of the Sergey that we see later on in For All Mankind.
What was your biggest challenge coming into this? Was there anything you were a little bit nervous about?
I think trying to take in all of it, trying to take in all of the history, everything that went wrong, and trying to, when we dance in between the 2 lines of what is real and what isn't. So the amount of stuff to research, I think, was the biggest one for me.
For our Radio Times viewers at home, could you describe the show for them in 3 words?
Of course, it is a paranoid, wonderful thriller that will just keep you on the edge of your seat.
What was your initial experience with For All Mankind? Were you a fan of the show beforehand? How did you first come to it?
No, I wasn't. I am now a fan, but at the time I hadn't watched the show. So for me, this was an introduction to the whole universe. And of course, then I went on to see it, and Ben and Matt have such a strong voice in it, and it's just so well made and produced and everything, and it was so exciting to realise that that's the universe that I'm walking into. So yeah, it was really exciting.
Yeah, and we spoke a bit about Lakshmi's journey and everything we can expect from her. Is there, without spoiling anything, a scene you're particularly proud of that you can tease?
I don't want to give any spoilers, but what I will say is that I had to speak in Hindi a lot within the show, and for me that was a brand new challenge. I've never done another language, and to have the opportunity to learn in that way and be put in that kind of pressured situation. I was really proud of myself for taking that challenge on and trying my best to do that as authentically as I possibly could, and to do justice by her and ensure that everything was in keeping with where she's from and what she's about. So yeah, that was a really interesting challenge.
For our Radio Times viewers at home, could you describe the show for us in 3 words? No pressure.
No pressure at all. I would say thriller. What else? Nail biting. I'm going to pretend that's one word. And surprising. Yeah.
Were you a For All Mankind fan before all this?
I hadn't seen a frame of For All Mankind before. I got the call, I got the script, and I thought, oh Jesus, I better watch them. And then, but that was a few weeks in advance, and by the time I had the call, I was an addict. I mean, what a family to be part of. Yeah, it's fantastic.
I've seen a few episodes, and Anna in particular, I feel like has some incredible kind of chilling scenes.
Yeah.
Was there anything in particular that you asked of her in those scenes?
Anna Maxwell Martin and I have worked together before. We've been friends a while. One of the ways one directs Anna is in general terms. You don't meddle. So in a way, we just talked around about the subject, around about her character, around about the rhythms within a scene, around about the tonal quality of the scenes, the tonal quality of the drama. I'm always reluctant with somebody like Anna to get too involved in sort of this line here and this line here and this line here. But once you get into the long grass of a scene, she is mercurial in the sense of what she brings. So you end up actually understanding a scene far better, having let her do that. So that's the process. Not the process with all actors, but certainly with Anna. And she is a titan of a performer. She's outstanding.
That's fascinating to hear that process. How did that differ then, if at all, with someone like Rhys?
It's hard. All actors differ in the way they approach scenes and what they need from a director. Rhys was very clear on his own, on needing to be clear. He needed to be clear on his own motive, his own shape within an actual scene. And would want to discuss that and want to explore that and make sure that he was on the right track with that. Anna and I didn't sit around talking about her internal motivation, her internal shapes. With a lot of the younger cast, they all come at their own angles of things, and they all have their own rhythms. Adam is playing Valia. Adam Negatis himself is had an extraordinary sort of rhythmic quality to his performance, and so you can't go in and note every actor in the same way. So what we have as a cross section of an ensemble cast is just a incredibly rich British cast that is bringing and has wowed our American coast. The showrunners, they have been blown away by the quality that's in there, all with different textures and all with this granular human detail. It's fantastic.
As a fan of For All Mankind, I feel like you could have chosen so many different things to spin off. What made this one the right decision, do you think?
It was interesting. The more we read about this program and the Soviet program and how secretive it was, and this city in the middle of the woods that no one could access, the more we read and understood and heard about it, the more we thought there's something special here. And it started from that moment, and then suddenly these characters come to life. You realize the chief designer, that's based on a real person that was also anonymous, and maybe was one of the most historically great figures of all time that nobody knows about. So for us, it was an embarrassment of riches in terms of ideas, and Apple felt the same.
Of course, we see some familiar faces. What was that decision like for you when you were approaching almost recasting these characters to their younger selves? Did it kill you a bit to see someone else playing these characters? How did you find that process?
It was certainly complicated because obviously we love the actors who played the older versions of them, but honestly we looked at it as an opportunity to find the younger versions of them, and it was so important to find actors who captured the essence of those characters. With Sergey, Joseph Davies brilliantly captures that intelligence and the warm-heartedness of Sergey Nikolov. And for Irina Morozova, what was fascinating was when we meet her in For All Mankind, she's this kind of cold, powerful woman, and getting to show the younger version of her who isn't that at all, and seeing the journey of her and how she became that woman is something that creatively we're really excited to tell that story.
I know it's incredibly early to be talking about this, but what do you see for the shape of Star City? Do you have an amount of seasons in mind, the future of it?
That's what I love about TV. We haven't even started the premiere
yet. Where are we going?
What's next? But I love it because it tells you that there's an excitement already for this show. I have to say, for us, it was one of the greatest working experiences we've had. We went into it with high hopes, and those hopes were exceeded in terms of the quality, the cast, just the level of talent. So for us, if we can keep working on this forever, we will. Okay, maybe not forever, maybe 3 seasons. It's right now the goal is get this season out and then see where we can go from there. We're hopeful it can continue, and I think if it does, it's not the kind of show that will jump decades. I think we have enough to stay in the 70s and kind of not do those time jumps. Just so we also don't have to age our poor cast like we did the For All Mankind one.
Done with those prosthetics, can't do them anymore. And did you have any ideas for any other spin-offs? Could we see potentially For All Mankind being a huge franchise?
Should we tell them about the North Korea spin-off?
Yeah.
Or is too early to spoil?
Yeah. I really want to do like a sitcom on the moon, Like I think that totally could live in the For All Mankind Star City universe.
Or the reality, what was that? We had a reality show, Moon Miners.
Oh, right.
We were going to do about miners on the moon and kind of like industrial, what it's like to live up there. So reality, comedy, we can, build the franchise out a little bit, yeah.
And just finally, what was the biggest challenge for you guys in terms of the storytelling? Was it difficult to kind of match the events up with what your past selves have set out for yourselves?
Sometimes I did hate my past self, I have to say. Like, really? You just had to do that, didn't you?
I also hated Ben's past self.
Yeah. But my current self, you're good with.
I'm a big fan of his current self.
So it's improvement in our relationship, which is that's a good sign.
Yeah.
Yes, there were a lot of potholes, I would say, on the road. But honestly, what helped a lot is that we set out from the beginning to make this its own show. We didn't want it to be a show that constantly mirrored what was happening in the other show, or that event, what do we comment on that event? So really early on we said, let's make this its own thing. We were very deliberate about what were the crossover characters and incidents. And then we wanted it after that to just fly on its own, let the bird fly, and that bird flew. Didn't he fly? Matt's actually going to do a flying bird dance to show you.
Thank you, Matt.
You do not want to see my flying bird dance, I guarantee you.
All right, a few drinks and we'll get a flying bird dance later. Let's just keep the camera around.